Students, welcome to your English class. Today I am here to go on with the first lesson of class 8 textbook Honeydew. The first lesson is the best Christmas present in the world. So let's start with present. Do you know what present is? I hope you all know what presents are and what present is. Somebody gives you something as gift and that is the present. So what is the best present you have got? You all must be thinking in your mind that what is the best present you have got still now. So that's another thing. So in the story we are going to learn something about present. This particular present has been given to a particular person and this present do have a significance in that particular person's life. So presents are given on some dates, right? And the dates are always very important. If you open the page of the book, you would see that here are some dates given. Some 4th July 1776, 17 December 1903, 6th August 1945, 30th August 1948, 12th April 1961 and lastly 20th July 1969. So can any one of you tell what does these dates significant or what is the significance of these dates? Yes, the first one, 4th July 1976. What is it? It is the American Declaration of Independence. Next, 17 December, it is 17 December of 1903 is the date on which the Wright brothers flew for 12 seconds on their on the first flight. They took the first flight which was made by them. Next, 6th August 1945, it was the day when the atomic bomb was dropped in the town of Hiroshima. 30th January 1948, everybody knows this, yes, this is the assassination date of Mahatma Gandhi. 12th April 1961, it is the first time a man or a human being orbited the earth. It was Yuri Gagarin. And 20th July 1969, most probably you all know it is the date when the first man landed on earth. Who was he? Neil Armstrong, who became the first man to land on the moon. So dates do have significance, right? So in this particular story there are some dates and they do have some significance in the life of the characters in this particular story. So let's start with the lesson. This is the first part today we are going to read. It goes such: I spotted it in a junk shop in Bridport, a roll top desk. The narrator found a roll top desk in a junk shop in Bridport. The man said it was early 19th century and oak. It was made of oak and it was of the early 19th century. I had wanted one, but they were far too expensive. The narrator also wanted a oak wood roll top desk, but they were very expensive, so he cannot afford one. So this was what he can afford. This was in a bad condition. The roll top in several pieces, one leg clumsily mended, scorch marks all down one side. It was going for very little money. The cost was very little, so the narrator wanted to have it. I thought I could restore it. It would be a risk, a challenge, but I had to have it. He wanted that particular roll top desk. It was a challenge for him to mend it and use it, but he wanted to restore it. I paid the man and brought it back to my workroom at the back of the garage. At the back of the garage there was a workroom and there he was, there the roll top desk was taken. I began work on it on Christmas Eve. On Christmas Eve, he started working it. I removed the roll top completely and pulled out the drawers. The roll top was moved, the drawers were brought out. The veneer had lifted almost everywhere. The veneer means a plastic cover or a thin coat which is put on top of wood so that the wood does not get destroyed easily. It looked like water damage to me. The damage was made by water mainly, but both fire and water had clearly taken their toll on the desk. Toll means they had both together spoiled the desk. The last drawer was stuck fast. The last drawer, the lowest one, was stuck fast means it could not be opened. I tried all I could to ease it out gently. In the end, I used brute force, but at last he had to use all his power. I struck it sharply with the side of my fist, and the drawer flew open to reveal a shallow space underneath, a secret drawer. There was a secret drawer beneath it. There was something in there. I reached in and took out a small black tin box. There was a small tin black colored box. Sellotaped to the top of it was a piece of lined note paper. There was a piece of lined note paper which was sellotaped on top of it. Sellotaped to the top of it was a lined note paper and written on it in shaky handwriting. What was written on it? Jim's last letter received January 25, 1915. In the year of 1915, it was found, the last letter was sent by Jim. Who is this Jim? We need to go through the story, then only we could understand. So, next, to be buried with me when the time comes. The letter must be buried with the person who had already kept it when time comes. I knew as it did it that it was wrong of me to open the box, but curiosity got the better of my scruples. It usually does. We do always have curiosity to find out what is inside or what is inside something else. So, there was the curiosity of the narrator and he wanted to open it. Inside the box, there was an envelope. Inside it, there was an envelope. The address read Mrs. Jim McPherson. The address was written on it, Mrs. Jim McPherson. So, the letter was written to Mrs. Jim McPherson, where 12 copper breeches, Bridport in Dorset. Dorset is a particular place in England, and there Bridport's 12 copper breeches was the address given. I took out the letter and unfolded it. The letter was taken out and it was opened, unfolded. It was written in pencil and dated at the top, December 26, 1914. 1914 is the year when the First World War was going on. So, the letter must be during the First World War, right? So, that's the first part of the story. Next day, we will be doing with the second part of the story.